The views and opinions expressed on this show do not reflect that of the staff and management of WNOV and W293 CX 106.5 FM Courier Communications Milwaukee, but are the sole comments of the host and guest of this particular show.
The views and opinions expressed in this program do not reflect those of Wisconsin Voices. The views and opinions expressed by host and guests are their own, and their appearance on the show does not imply any endorsement or representation by Wisconsin Voices. Thank you for listening to Be a Voice with Wisconsin Voices.
Be a voice.
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 Visit WisconsinVoices.org.
Visit WisconsinVoices.org.
Visit WisconsinVoices.org
and learn more on how to be a voice with Wisconsin Voices. I'm taking it easy. Now that I'm doing.
Yeah, make sure you're doing all the necessary steps and whatever the doctor has told you, not cutting no corners. I know it's that time of the year where it's a lot of things in the air. Whether it's any allergies or any pollen or any of the I guess some people have issues with either just taking in some of the air quality when it comes to the environment. I know I was looking at weather related things when it comes to like Florida. Florida had a rough weekend when it comes to weather, and Bill Nye, our boy Bill Nye, the science guy who I grew up on, he just said that this is just the beginning of how hot the weather in these summers will be due to climate control. We are as a species on this planet, we're not taking care of the climate like we're supposed to. The microplastics in the ocean, of course, we got glaciers.
I'm glad you said that.
Glaciers falling off of big pieces of glaciers about the size of states falling off into the ocean, and it's raising the ocean levels. So we have issues on the other side of the planet, and it's resulting in catastrophic weather all across the world. Whether it's tsunamis, earthquakes, and of course high or crazy storms in the Midwest. And, of course, the heat that we've had across the country. I was talking to a friend in LA the other day. It was like 100-some degrees out there in parts of LA. My sister, her air went out in Arizona late last week, and she had to get that work done. But it was 110 degrees the day her air went out in Arizona.
We need a sweater, huh? That chilly. Look, it's a little chilly.
And she got a little pit bull dog in there, and her peoples that she stayed with, so I know that she was going through it. So yeah, it's been crazy.
Yeah, my little cousin passed away from Arizona
recently.
2 years ago. Had asthma attack. It was super hot.
Yeah,
he literally tried to walk. He called the paramedics, but he came out his door and walked down the stairs. And they said he should have stayed in the house under his air, but he was trying to go, outside to wait for the paramedic, and ended up collapsing right there. So it ain't no joke. Air, especially that air quality in Arizona.
Well, I didn't move at all this week. I did a lot of work, and thank you, Angelique Rogers. This will be her last day working with us this week. But thank you. We were doing budgets together, getting out those RFPs and making sure that we get some of that, the re-grant money out. So we were working hard this weekend. But I'm so glad to be here with y'all.
Yeah, me too.
Hey, we always having a good time, a random good time.
I mean that literally, because I almost didn't make it to see today. So yes, I'll say that literally.
And here's a question, because I'm upset. I know we shouldn't be upset.
What's up?
I'm really upset with LaToya because she didn't let us know.
Hey, she told me Friday she had a bone to pick with you, Toya.
I was like, she did not.
She told me out the gate. She said, when she get better, I'm on her. I was like, we want to get her one.
I couldn't talk, y'all. My throat was full.
But this is the great technology of a text. Look, y'all, I don't have to talk. Wait, we're going to show her how to text.
Yeah, show me how to text.
But yeah, we're going to show her how to text, because we care about our people, and if something's wrong with her, we want to make sure that we,
I promise from now on, I'm gonna get much better. I will.
Yeah. Do we believe Rion? All right. So we are talking about Friday. We had a really good conversation about voting. We talked about a little bit about the shenanigans happening on Juneteenth. Some of the interesting, like trying to connect the shooting that happened to Juneteenth, even though it was on the other side of town and hours away. But I saw this. So we're gonna go into the DNC, but I really saw this TikTok that was so funny to me, because it was this is how they put people of color against each other. And the TikTok was about, it was a Latino man who was talking about they had a concert for Juneteenth, and he said he felt left out, or the Latino community was not represented. And I'm laughing at it because he's like, we went through this, and we went through riots and different fights and stuff, and he didn't even know what Juneteenth was, because he was thinking that it was some massacre that happened. And I was watching this going, this is the propaganda stuff that maybe something that just somebody put in, but other people will see it. Other Black people will see it and be like, what they talking about? Like, I showed another person. They were like, they don't buy us the Cinco de Mayo, but that's not the issue. She didn't get to the root of the issue. The root of the issue is, this is one person, and now there's a conversation that looks like they're pitting African Americans versus Latino. And it's just that one little thing, and I think it had a bunch of likes, and it had a bunch of different comments. None of it was correct. And that is misinformation. So as you watch these TikToks, I watched another one where it's an AI, and this is not a thing or anything, but it showed Joe Biden looking out in the air, just looking around in the crowd, and it looked like he was just like looking at nowhere. And it was like, so people were putting there, see, he don't know what he's talking about. But another TikToker actually put the whole screen, and he was looking at some of the guys who had jumped out of the airplane. They were the jumpers, and they had landed. So he was watching them as they were, coming down, and he was looking like he was looking in the air, but he was watching them come down and then land. And then he was like, good job. But if you cut it off, it looked like he just was looking around. Same thing with, I've seen, some lefters do it with Trump, where something happens and Trump looks like he's doing something that he is crazy, but it's not necessarily that way. The AI makes it seem. So please do your due diligence. Don't believe everything you see on there. But it really did. I was like, ooh, this is bad. They're making him look like he don't know what he's doing. But when I saw the next video where they showed the whole thing, he was literally just watching people, he was looking there for a reason.
Right.
Oh, it'll still be spaced out sometime, though. I'd be like, ooh.
But do you know if he's spaced out, or is he really looking at somebody, or is he? But that's what I'm saying. No matter if it's Biden or Trump, or when you want to make something look away, how do you do it?
Yeah, you just do a
search. You crop it. You add another word. You cut out a word. So I just really want people to just start paying attention.
Right. Don't just take these commercials and ads for face value.
Definitely not.
Especially on the TikTok.
Yeah, on the commercials and all. The election ads, they gonna get the popping.
But one of the things we started to talk about was this the DNC coming here.
RNC.
And the article that was published on June 20th, it said, rolling out the red carpet for people that hate us, how some feel about the RNC. 414-444-5250. So we didn't have this much of a discussion when the DNC was supposed to come here before COVID. And then obviously it turned virtual here in Milwaukee. And some people, I heard a few people say, you didn't have that conversation when the DNC was coming. Well, we did. It was just different people. They were talking about, what's that group? It was the group that was kind of starting a lot of chaos when the riots started and the unrest started. Antifa. Antifa. Yeah, they could have showed up, and they were worried about that. But it wasn't about, that was to cause chaos to the actual event.
Mm-hmm.
But people are scared or a little uneasy, not because of the event and not scared to go to the event, maybe scared of what the people in the city will do to the people who are just minding their own business, who had nothing to do with the RNC, but because there's hate crimes that are, and I'm not saying they're all affiliated with the Republican Party, but they seem to follow that crowd when it comes in. What are we going to do? Do you guys feel uneasy as they come?
Yeah, I think that as a whole, the city, some of the people in the city are. I did see an article the other day, and it was stating how the LGBTQ population of Milwaukee were feeling uneasy about them coming here. For us, I think that through history, as a people, we've probably been a little bit programmed to, how to avoid certain situations, for the ones that don't want to be involved in, any possible unrest between groups. And then you got, people who are looking forward to communicating with people to try to either change mindsets or try to come to some common ground. So you got a lot of groups out here, I believe, that are looking at it from different angles and individuals who see it. For me, I don't feel any uneasy. I think I've been looking at it and kind of preparing myself for it since they've announced it. And I understand, what type of groups, like it ain't everybody in the party, of course, but I do understand what type of groups do come with that that party that will be, in town. And they say 30,000. I believe it'll be anywhere between
they are
50 to 70.
Yeah, at least.
Because what's the name will be here right after that, Northwest Mutual, and they bring in out the gate about 50,000. Because I think they reserve all the hotels between the city of Milwaukee, Milwaukee County, and Waukesha County. So yeah, they're just as big, and there'll be just as many people in that area with this time a light perimeter and a hard perimeter.
Well, I feel I kind of feel the same sentiments as you, Brian. I'm not so much bothered for myself per se, but I've been hearing the talks of a lot of people. So they have this rule that the officers, they're gonna martial law, and they're gonna bring officers from all over the state. When we were going to these security meetings, we were asking them, would those officers have to, record on their body cams any altercations with anybody? Mm-hmm. And they said no, that they can, use the discretion of their own police force. So if in their county or state or city, they don't have to use their body cam to interact with people, then they don't have to use it here. So a lot of people are at an unrest because they know that a lot of our inner city has problems with the police department. You're going to have a lot of police here that's not from this city and don't encounter BIPOC communities as much as in that they would here versus at home in their prospective cities. So a lot of people have been upset about that because they don't know how these interactions will be. And then with them not being recorded, and they go by their own protocols, and they just feel some type of way in knowing that there's going to be a lot of unrest, a lot of protests. You're going to have a lot of people here. They feel some type of way of having the people here that did that January the 6th event. And it's just tension where, and I feel like you too, Tamika, that this conversation wasn't so much with the DNC because the reason I feel that it wasn't because they didn't go try to take over the White House because they lost the election either, and people died that day. They didn't do all that, so it wasn't no tension on where people feel like they're being rolled over. Where now you're gonna have all these people with all these fashionist minds in your city, and they basically made their rules their law, what they want to see done. They don't have to be accountable for nothing with you. So I think a lot of people just feel unrest because they feel like it's just like
they have no. I think what you're saying, and see if I'm right. They're not abiding by the rules,
right?
The regular rules that every decorum rules,
right?
And that is, I mean, key. Like, you're not going to go up and just spit in somebody's face. That's just wrong.
Right.
But it may happen. Some of the organizations that I have talked to, the ones that do social issues like myself, Black, I think Black, which is, I think I remember, their executive director saying something about she's going on a retreat and actually leaving. She's taking her staff out of Milwaukee. Yeah. I mean, I get that. I mean, that's a real thing. Some of the places are closing as well. Like the Milwaukee Library. I mean, the Public Museum will be closed during that time. The Betty Brim Children's Museum will be closed. Turner Hall will be closed.
Oh, Turner Hall's closing doors, huh?
Well, they're closing because it's rented out by some, but
okay.
Let's see, some of the restaurants across the in that area will be closed because there's a whole list of different restaurants or hotels restaurants or bars that'll be closed. Jazz in the Park won't be going on that week. The Milwaukee River Roundup concert series, they will not be doing that week. I think there's a whole slew of things that are not going to be happening, mostly because of the perimeter and where the soft perimeter is, and then the security fences. But we got a caller. Let's see what our caller has to say.
Hello.
Hello, caller.
Yes, I'd like to know who is determined. Is this a federal?
Can you turn your radio down a little bit?
Turn your radio down while you're on with that. Thanks.
Okay, I thought that.
And take it off speaker.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
How's that?
Turn your radio down and take your phone off speaker and just talk to us on
It's only on or is that speaker?
No,
yeah.
You better now.
You better now.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Who are the people that control these people who are coming into our city or into our state? Is the federal government sitting in the Trump state, or is the state sitting in the
So it's a combination of both. Because this is a national convention, there will be, and so there will be some federal agencies that'll be there, like FBI will be here, some Secret Service will be here, but the majority of I think it's 3,200 or roundabout will be local law enforcement. Cities around the Milwaukee area and across the country will be coming to help.
The reason I'm asking this is because the states have rights as well to make a decision that if they're going to send them in, that they can demand it. We can demand it because the state also has rights as far as the federal.
Yeah.
And so if we push it as a state, that they turn on those cameras for our protection and their protection.
That's not going to happen. Though,
That's right.
look who's in control of the state.
Who makes that decision?
The state could, but who is in control of the state legislature, the assembly?
The state legislature, or could the governor do it?
The governor really, I don't want to quote, but I don't think he can put something like that on it without the.
This needs to be checked into, because this is a very serious time when you talk about having no cameras and otherwise it's the way that it can't. Then everybody should bring out the cameras and be around somewhere where they can't. Somebody should be able to take pictures. You got it, because that is becoming. Let's put us in what you might call a jail.
Mm-hmm.
And it's everybody, and that means that you can't. It's almost like having complete freedom to do whatever you want.
So, and
that's
and
a lot of
from
people
what
concerned.
And so what I understand is the body cams will be on the Milwaukee Police Department and most of the police departments. The problem is that, and I believe this is correct, is that depending on the rules of when the body cam is released,
yeah.
and that is,
you couldn't accept anything. See, what's wrong with us in the state of Wisconsin, the people are representatives, we do not require, because we're afraid to demand or fight what they've been doing to us. We need to put more, we've got the power. We are the people. And if we as a people demand, we can demand it. Whether they do it or not, but at least although we don't just sit like they let everything and do everything to us, because it's like saying we have no power, and we do have power, but we never exercise it. We seem to be afraid to.
It's
about time. This is too important for that.
And I get that. Some of this has to do with getting out there to vote and putting the right people in office.
Right now, it's not voting. It's dealing with something's going to happen in this month.
Right, but that is
that right now,
man. But that's the problem. That's the problem. We wait until something like this is happening instead of looking at who is going to make decisions for us in the future. We don't put the right people in the office.
You, dear. I'm way ahead of you. I know I've already done all that thought process. But right now, sometimes you got to deal with the immediate problem and do it as soon as possible so you can take care of it ahead of time.
And
this is something that's needed right now. And I'm not a Gen Z. I'm an 80-year. And I'm not, and as far as when I heard this, no cameras, there's a bulb.
There will be cameras. There will be cameras. It's just,
I know, not turning on. What does the camera not turn on?
They have they will have cameras, but they have the right to not record if they don't want to. And then also going off what Tamika was saying, which is very important, that if they do get into an altercation and have their camera on, they're like here within 15 days, they have to release the video. The rest of these municipalities don't have those same agreements. So they don't have to release
that. I was saying, from listening to you, everything you're saying is you think and you believe, but you're not sure. Make it what you need.
I didn't say anything about think. I said that is true.
Here's the thing. These laws and these things and
what law that says that they have control on?
But nobody said that they had control over, ma'am.
Okay,
not one single person here has said that they have control over. It's if they exercise the right to obey the law or not. And that is nothing anybody can control.
That's where we are today. That's the attitude. Instead of recognizing that we have power to challenge it. And if you're afraid to challenge it, then that's when you come to voting in this situation.
Man, we've been challenging it. We've been going to meetings. We've been having discussions with them. So that's where we're having a discussion with the community right now. And
these discussions have been
going. What is the next meeting going to be? What is the next meeting going to be? Is the public allowed to come in?
Yeah, they've been going on for months.
I've never heard of them.
I understand that. That's why we are here bringing information that we get from these meetings.
Yeah, we talked about one.
And we talked about one, and we talked about them in April.
Yeah, back in April.
Back in April, back in
When's the
March.
next meeting? When is the next meeting?
They have not scheduled them,
And I believe it's at the end of this month, and it will be one of the last meetings.
but they haven't scheduled
to
exactly
come to
where
it.
it is and what it is. We just know that it's going to
you
be at
can-
the end of this month.
You can check with your mayor's office because they're actually helping
And what's the meeting called? What's the name of the meeting?
the safety and security meetings for the RNC convention.
Okay, thank
And
you.
and
dear.
also try to call your alder, because
Mhm.
information would be with your alder as well.
And I just want to add real quick, just what I had seen when it first had dropped back in May. So the RNC, like I said, set to run that weekend. So as part of that declaration from the state of emergency that Governor Evers did declare for the state, all law enforcement officers present in the state from July 13th to 19th have been granted the power of arrest so long as they have arrest powers and use of force training from their home jurisdictions. So that right there tells you a lot. Every jurisdiction ain't the same as you see across the country. So I just want to say that before break.
Catch Wisconsin Voices via Voice Radio every Monday, Tuesday, and Friday at 11 a.m. as we focus on community partnerships, voter education, and long-term collective impact for all Wisconsinites.
You're listening to Wisconsin Voices via Voice Radio. Follow us at BAWI Voice and learn more at wisconsinvoices.org. Wisconsin Voices 3 pillars: protecting democracy, teaching advocacy, building community.
We try to give people information that they need. We talk about stuff, and it seems we get the heat of people when they realize or they didn't know about something, but we've been talking about it. We've been, doing posts on Facebook about it. It's on our calendar, our calendar for the events.
One of our shows in April. When I
Two of
went
our
to that
shows.
meeting.
Matter of
Yeah.
fact, that was
We
the
talked about
same
that for a
day.
long time.
That was the same day that Bob Donovan, or not Bob Donovan, what's his name? I can't think of it, but he was here, and
Was that Bob Bauman?
Bauman, thank you. Yes. He was here that day, and he actually said he was on that committee, and he talked about some of that stuff. So we have been talking about it a while. It's just it's getting closer and closer, and now people are thinking. I don't think that most of the city, it will even affect them, because they are going to be doing their everyday lives. They don't go downtown for a lot of stuff. They stay on the south side or the north side. It's going to affect the people who live downtown or people who go downtown. The good thing about it in this whole thing is the economic impact it's going to have.
Yeah.
With all the restaurants, money coming in for all of these hotels and different things, there is a economic impact that is great. I know the DNC is in Chicago in August, and like those rooms are $550 a night plus the 17% tax, and then you have to stay a minimum of 4 days. So it is a big impact for the cities that can host
You
them.
from Milwaukee, you'll be cheaper just drive down there.
Right. Drive. But then wait a minute. But then the parking is like $75 to $100 a day.
That's still cheaper.
Yeah, that's true. Take a train or something. Let's go into voting, because I want to make sure that we know that there is an election coming up July 2nd in the Senate District number 4. So that is east side of Milwaukee, northeast side, Shorewood, Glendale, parts of River Hills, I believe, Brown Deer, and then a little piece of Wauwatosa. But if you had Senator Lena Taylor when she was Senator Lena Taylor as your representative. She's now Judge Lena Taylor. We have to decide who's going to at least finish her term out up until January. And that primary is July 2nd. Here's the thing. There's no other party that is on the ballot for that. So whoever wins that July 2nd will be the only person on the ballot for July 30th, unless you have a write-in candidate. And you can be a write-in candidate up until the Friday before the actual election. So we'll see what goes on.
Right.
But there are early voting now. It's at Good Hope Library, Villard Library, and then the voting center on 60th and Capitol on the southwest corner of 60th and Capitol. You cannot register online or mail in at this time if you live in that area, but you can register if you early vote or register on the day of the election day. So bring your proof of residency. That is you have to have a picture. If your driver's license has your name and it has your correct address, that is a proof of residency. If not, you bring a picture ID, and then you can bring a proof of residency, which is a bill, a electric bill, utility bill, any correspondence that's a government correspondence, like if you got a letter from Social Security or anything like that, then that is a proof of residency. Your title, your registration for your car, any of those, bank statement, any of those are
phone bill.
Yep, those are. Now, I found out that if you use a bank statement, you cannot use those Chime bank statements.
Sorry.
Or your bank statement with
EIC backed up.
Yes. It can't be what is that? What's that where you switch
Cash
money
App.
to Cash App statement? No, you can't have none of those.
Venmo.
Yeah.
I think probably, like you said, FDC wise, but also you can change your address in there within 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
So please vote. Let's get out the vote. Then right after that, that is in July 2nd and July 30th. And then we have a fall primary, which is August 13th. And that's when we decide some of these are going to be August primary will decide these elections, because there's not another party on it. So if it's only two Democrats running, whoever wins, that's going to be who wins and who's going to be on the ballot in November, and then who will most likely take that seat. We'll go over those things. We do have, and I believe this week, we have a guest who's going to talk about the what are those referendums that are on there, and give you a deep dive on what they mean, because that is super important. So please join us tomorrow, because I believe that is the show where we're going to be explaining what those referendum questions mean and how does it impact you.
Cool.
It's because the thing is, Republican, Democrat, whoever, depending on who's writing them, sometimes these things are so tricky where you think you don't agree with what they're going to do, but the way it's written, you'd be like, oh yeah, yes. But actually you're voting for it instead of against it because of the wording.
Yep. I sat there and looked at and read one like 20 times before.
And still really didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was one of the last ones we was on The Office. And I remember y'all was talking about it the way it was written. So yeah, it was another one that got every couple years. It seemed like it's one on there that's like that.
Yeah, and so it's a hot mess.
Yeah.
There's
That's
a
why
couple
they
of
need to come to your
referendum
one-on-one class. So
civics 101, but we had
sign up for it. I seen a couple that looked like they signed up over the weekend. I seen
some people signed up for the weekend. We do have a class. We're trying to set up the class. So even though people signed up for our last class on the 18th, they decided not to show up.
Yeah.
That's okay, but don't waste our time. If you're going to say you sign up, please sign up. But then we have the staff preparing and ready to go and nobody shows up. And then you want to know, well, why didn't I know this or why didn't I know that? Well, we're trying to give you every opportunity to be informed. And if you don't show up, we're informed. We're just trying to make sure that other people
are informed. And I noticed that the young lady went back to brushing it off when you were talking about Emeka voting. And, oh, we vote. We do. No, we don't. Some people vote, yes, and religiously. Everybody sitting here at this table votes religiously. But it is a lot of our people that do not exercise their rights. And when these situations, like Tamika was saying, and when you get these encounters in these type situations, it's like, we got to stand up. We got to, now it's a frantic test to stand up now. But actually, like she was saying, if we really educate ourselves, come to our civic classes, get involved in your civic duties, and really learn how to put people in office that's going to represent you and your feelings, and actually know that you hold their job in your hand. You can put them in office, and you can hold your folks accountable. Hold these folks accountable and take them out of office. Yep. I think because I watch a lot of people, they get so nervous when they get around politicians. Their aldermen, their mayors, their governor. It's like, oh, like they're a celebrity. Actually, you their boss.
Hey,
you really are their boss.
There's I remember the first time I heard this was Representative Supreme Umakunde when he was running, and he was like, he always called people boss, and I was like, what is he doing? And I get it. He always said, they're my boss. We have a 4-year contract, 2-year contract, whatever the term is. Now you have to decide, are you renewing my contract? Do you like what I've done? Is it okay? Then you're allowing me to go again. If you don't like what I did, I have to answer to you. Maybe I have a review, and that's usually what the elections are. It's review time. Okay, so you did this or you did that, or what did you do? I didn't see you, and then you have to answer those questions.
And these elections are basically the long interview process that you really get to know your employees and make sure that they're going to do their job for you that you need them to do.
I had a lady down at Juneteenth when we got out the parade. I was running around looking for y'all. I'm like, I'm supposed to be in the mix right now. Let me see where I need to go. And I found out everybody was, trying to just get a little breather before the next project, the next event. Cutting the corner right by the park. I just wanted to see what was going on, what the action was like. I was with the team, the canvassing team. And this lady was trying to get me to buy whatever she was selling right there, as shirts or Juneteenth shirts or something like that. And then she was like, so what you got going on down here? I was like, well, I work for Wisconsin Voices. We in the community, we upbuild 501c3s. We also do a lot of events with voter registration, community events all across the board, and, breaking it down. And I asked her about vote, so you get ready to vote. She said, I don't vote, what I'm saying? And we went right into it, but it was a whole bunch of people around her. And I kind of took off and kind of was loud purposely so everybody could say, I was like, for everybody around here that's listening, y'all, everybody's complaining about something going on or not going their way. And then it's time and everybody's sitting there all quiet and stuff. And she didn't really have nothing else to say. Nobody really did. But I was just telling her, I don't want, everybody around here, I know y'all complained about something, but y'all ain't going to exercise y'all right. The same thing that they want to take away from you. So
we're going to go to a call. Caller, go ahead.
Top of the day to you.
Top of the day to you.
Good morning.
Quick question. I got a lot of some people that get like low income housing and stuff, right?
Mhm.
I didn't want to tell them the wrong thing. So I was like, let me make some calls and find out if I'm correct or not. When a person or when something's like 30% of your income, that's like a federal grant, isn't it? Or no?
When you talking about rent,
Yes.
that's a guideline. That you don't. It's a guideline. I'm not for sure if it's a law or anything, but that's a guideline that when landlords or people who are renting, they say you should not be using more than 30% of your income to pay rent.
And these just for like individuals with fixed income? Or
No, this is just in general. Like, and then there's some other for fixed income, or if you're looking for rent assistance or low income or any of those things, they might have some other criteria, or they might have other rules that they go by. But generally, that 30% I think you're talking about is anytime anybody rents a place, you don't, or even a mortgage to a point, you don't want to pay more than 30% of your total income on rent.
Okay, for individuals like on, I think, Social Security or
it's different. If they are trying, it depends on if you're trying to get low income housing. I don't know what the actual. Usually, it's 125% under poverty that you can qualify. You have to look at each individual program that you will get that information. But when you're I'm just specifically talking about what is normal. Like when you're bringing that 30% up, that is probably the 30% is not about low income or people on fixed income. It is more so you should not pay rent that is higher than 30% of your income.
Okay. One more question. What is this? I don't know what this building is, but the building, it has it houses a lot of people, like elderly people, and they were complaining about they were paying like $300 or something a month, and it started going up every year. They think that it was supposed to stay at that 300 and something.
I don't
Is it
think
a program like that?
No, so I don't think Wisconsin has a rent freeze. And it could go by their income, because even though they get a fixed income, but even Social Security has a little bit of a curve when it comes to inflation or anything like that. So it may have gone up because of there, but I am 99% sure. And I never, and people say you don't say 100% because there is something that I may not know, that I may be misinformed on. So I am pretty sure that we do not have rent freezes here. So rent can go up, but there's a certain margin it can or cannot go up depending on if they have rent assistance. I know there's some rules about that, but there's no rent freeze here.
Please join Wisconsin Voices every Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. We will be focusing on community partnerships, voter education, and long-term collective impact for all Wisconsinites.
You're listening to Wisconsin Voices Be a Voice Radio. Follow us at BAWI Voice and learn more at wisconsinvoices.org.
The 3 pillars of Wisconsin Voices are protect democracy, build community, and teaching advocacy. Go to wisconsinvoices.org to learn more about Wisconsin Voices and our partners, and to stay up to date on all community events. If you like and want to support Wisconsin Voices and the work that they do, please click on the donation tab. Last caller, you were asking about some of this information, and we did find out from one of our lovely listeners. If you go on the Housing Authority, Google it, and then go Milwaukee Housing Authority, some of your questions will be answered on that website. So it will talk about what are the requirements to get low income through the Housing Authority. And any of the questions that you just asked, I think they will be able to be answered. Well, I'm going back to something that's near and dear to me. My baby's birthday. Y'all don't understand. She was not supposed to be here. I mean, she was born 3 months early. She's supposed to be born in September, and she was born June 24th. I spent 8 days upside down, and she was born 1 pound 7 ounces. So this is not just a celebration of her birthday. It's just, I made it through. Ooh, this is a celebration of me. Ooh.
Yeah.
I had one
birthday.
But those are hard. And the thing is, for years, and we will talk about this more over the summer and going into the fall, especially when we're trying to do some Lost Baby Awareness Month is in October. But those are the things that Black community does not talk about. You don't talk about it. It's shameful to talk about, or people are too scared to say how you doing or how you going or what's your problem. Or so this is more of a celebration of me getting through it, my husband and I getting through this, and yeah, she's 21, but whew, is this when you can kick them out the house now? Oh, you can really kick them out?
They officially grown.
Like official. Like
Official.
18, you can't really do, I feel bad. Now they official. She still say, Mama, can I go somewhere? Mama, can I have this in the refrigerator? I was like, why are you asking me? You grown. I ain't grown. When it grown, what did she say? When you grown, comes bills.
Yeah.
But we gotta remember, this is all week love for Jada and our boy Keon. Keon's birthday is Friday. We want to make sure we give shout outs to Keon. We're going to ask you to call in on Friday. We will have Keon hopefully on the show, and then maybe we can all say how much we love him on his birthday.
We don't.
Oh, we're going to. No, I'm just playing. Oh, right. She lying because she be all up in there trying to talk to Keon. We love him. He has done a real good transition from being here for years to over at Wisconsin Voices, running our social media and our marketing. We are blessed to have him there. Let me see who else I can steal. Anybody else I need? Jermaine, how you doing?
Right. Listen, I'm doing great over here. I'm having a blast.
Okay. All right, we will see you tomorrow. We're going to be talking about that, what is it? The referendum tomorrow. And we also we always say we have our guests, but our guests be so busy that they're supposed to come and then they don't. But let's hope. We're supposed to have Wisconsin State Treasurer or Secretary of State Sarah Galuski coming in and explain it.
Oh, that's my girl.
So we gonna see if she's in here or if she's gonna be here, or is it not? We're just trying to figure that out. But that's the day we're supposed to be here.
The views and opinions expressed on this show do not reflect that of the staff and management of WNOV and W293 CX 106.5 FM Courier Communications Milwaukee, but are the sole comments of the host and guest of this particular show.
The views and opinions expressed in this program do not reflect those of Wisconsin Voices, but are those of the host and guests of this particular show, and their appearance on the program does not imply any endorsements or representation by Wisconsin Voices. Thank you for listening to Be a Voice with Wisconsin Voices.
Be a voice.
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 Visit WisconsinVoices.org.
Visit WisconsinVoices.org.
Visit WisconsinVoices.org
And learn more on how to be a voice with Wisconsin Voices.